Bella Swan left behind the familiar dryness and heat of Phoenix with a kind of resigned acceptance, knowing the decision she had made would follow her for a long time. Forks was the last place she imagined living, a town wrapped in constant clouds and rainfall, but she chose it because her mother deserved a life that wasn't restricted by Bella's school routine. Charlie, her quiet and awkward father, welcomed her with the same shy warmth she remembered from childhood, offering her space without questions. She tried to settle into the modest house, surrounded by towering evergreens that seemed to swallow the light. Everything felt damp, cold and unfamiliar, but she was determined not to complain. She had made her choice. Her first day of school confirmed that Forks High was exactly the kind of place where new faces never went unnoticed. Teachers paused mid-lesson to acknowledge her, classmates stared longer than necessary, and whispered conversations broke out everywhere she walked. Bella handled it with polite nods and a calm face even though she felt completely exposed. She met a few friendly students who tried to make her feel welcome, but it was clear she didn't fit into their easy, small-town rhythm. Then she saw them in the cafeteria. A group of 5 students sitting at the far table with an almost unnatural stillness. They were beautiful in a way that felt unreal, as if carved rather than born, each with pale skin and sharp features. They didn't mix with anyone else. Their eyes moved together like they shared a private world that no one else could enter. Bella noticed one of them more than the others, a boy with bronze-colored hair that fell in messy, purposeful waves. There was something strange about him, a contrast of intensity and calm that drew her even before she understood why. When she walked into her biology class later that day, she realized the only empty seat was next to him. He stiffened the moment she approached, as if some invisible tension ti. Edward stood still for a long moment after Bella said the word. The forest around them was quiet except for the soft movement of wind through the trees. He didn't look surprised. If anything, he looked like someone who had been waiting for this moment and dreading it at the same time. Bella expected him to deny it, to laugh or call her imagination wild, but he didn't. Instead, he warned her that she should turn around and walk away from him. His voice was low, almost desperate, as he tried to convince her that knowing the truth only put her in danger. But Bella didn't move. She told him she wasn't afraid, even though her heart hammered in her chest. She knew she should be scared, but something inside her had already chosen him. Edward explained things slowly, as if measuring every word. He told her he and his family lived on animal blood, not human. It was a choice they made to keep their humanity, even though resisting human blood was a constant struggle. His golden eyes were proof of their lifestyle, a color unique to those who fed on animals. He spoke about his strength and speed, his senses sharper than anything Bella could imagine. Every detail confirmed the impossible truth she had already accepted. He confessed how hard it had been for him to be near her. From the first day in biology class, her scent had overwhelmed him, more tempting than anything he had experienced in a century of life. He had nearly lost control when she sat beside him, and he had avoided her afterward because he feared what he might do. Saving her in the parking lot had been a reflex, an instinct to protect her that surprised even him. He admitted that she confused him, challenged him, and drew him in ways he couldn't explain. Bella listened to every word with a mixture of awe and disbelief, not because she doubted him, but because she finally understood the strange tension he carried. They spent hours walking through the forest while he told her more about his kind. His skin sparkled. Edward drove faster than Bella had ever seen him drive, the tension in his face sharper with every mile. He explained that the 3 vampires approaching Forks were nomads, wanderers who lived by feeding on human blood wherever they traveled. They didn't follow any rules or keep a low profile the way the Cullens did. Their arrival meant danger not just for Bella, but for the entire town. The Cullens gathered quickly at their house, planning how to protect both Bella and their own secret. Bella stayed close to Edward, trying to stay calm, though fear crept into her thoughts. The nomads arrived sooner than expected. Laurent, the leader, carried himself with an easy confidence. Victoria, with her fiery red hair, moved silently and watched everything with sharp, calculating eyes. James, lean and predatory, studied Bella the moment he saw her. It happened so fast that Bella didn't even realize the danger until Edward stepped in front of her and the rest of the Cullens closed in. They tried to make it seem like Bella was one of them, but the sudden shift in the wind carried Bella's human scent straight to James. The hunger that lit up his face didn't look human at all. Edward's growl was low and furious, but it didn't stop James from announcing, with cold excitement, that he wanted to hunt her. The Cullens managed to drive the trio away long enough to form a plan. Bella, shaken and breathing unevenly, realized her presence had triggered something horrifying. James wasn't just curious, he was a tracker, a hunter who fixated on a target and wouldn't stop until he got it. Edward didn't waste time. He told Bella they had to leave immediately, and his family would divide to give her the best chance to survive. Alice and Jasper would take Bella far from Forks, leading James off the trail. Rosalie and Emmett would try to intercept him. Carlisle and Edward would track him directly. They hoped the confusion would buy enough time to find an advantage. Bella didn't protest. Bella opened her eyes to the sharp smell of disinfectant and the rhythmic beeping of a heart monitor. Her body felt heavy and bruised, wrapped in bandages and covered in a dull ache that came in waves. For a moment she couldn't remember where she was, and then everything rushed back, the studio, James, Edward's desperate voice. Panic fluttered in her chest, but when she turned her head, she saw Edward sitting beside her. His face was tense and pale, shadows under his eyes, as if he had not moved since she was brought in. The relief in his expression was quiet but powerful when he realized she was awake. He explained that her injuries were serious but not life-threatening. Broken ribs, a fractured leg, and plenty of cuts and bruises. The doctors believed she had fallen down 2 flights of stairs in a dramatic accident at a hotel, a story Carlisle had carefully shaped to explain everything. Charlie had been told the same, and though he didn't fully understand, he accepted it because he wanted to believe Bella was safe. Renee, her mother, arrived soon after, full of worry and questions. Bella reassured her as best she could, but part of her focus stayed on Edward, sitting quietly in the corner like he was trying not to intrude. When Bella's mother stepped out to talk to a doctor, Bella turned to Edward and pressed him for details she knew he wasn't eager to share. She asked about the venom, about the moments before she passed out. Edward hesitated, clearly uncomfortable with the memory. He told her he had been close to losing her. If he had hesitated for even a second longer, the venom would have changed her forever. Bella found herself torn between the fear of that transformation and a strange pull toward it, a pull she tried not to voice too loudly. She asked him why he hadn't let the change happen, why he fought so hard to keep her human. His answer was simple and painful. He didn't want her to give up her life, her soul, her future, just to stay with him. Bella D.